Hello everyone, this is the Great Pumpkin speaking and welcome to this new PvP video about Dragonfable. So, last time we began our new streak using the new rule set that we're going to be using from now on. And this time I've got a little surprise for you guys. Some of you might have noticed that I got quite a large amount of Dragon Coin in bank on my character now. Well, the reason for this is that I actually picked up the Doom Knight package for this game, which allowed me to get access to quite a number of new Dragon Coin classes. Among others, the first class we're going to be going as this time around, the Pyromancer. So let's get going. First opponent today will be Doomsday, the Doom Knight, who is a version 1 Doom Knight, so that shouldn't be too bad. So, given that this is the Doom Knight, I don't want to spend too much energy on this guy, so let's just go ahead. So yeah, the thing about the Pyromancer is that, and keep in mind that this is only my first impressions of these classes, I haven't spent a whole lot of time on them or anything. But anyway, so yeah, this Pyromancer class actually isn't quite what you would usually expect for such a class. I'm assuming a lot of you actually expect something similar to what Xandis did, which is mostly fire, fire, and more fire. But given that Tomix was the designer for this particular class, well, things ended up being slightly different in that, among others, you can see the sheer amount of details on the actual class armor. But among others, the moveset is completely different in that this Pyromancer is actually a defensive class. This means that it mostly focuses on things like eating, damage over time, and also, of course, fire damage. It's even got skill that actually allows it to revive itself from death. Like this, no, that wasn't it. Where is it? It was somewhere, I can't find it. Oh well, I might be imagining things anyway. But yeah, so that's not quite what you would expected. You know, Tomix has his own views on how the way the classes are, and as a result he has a tendency to overcomplicate things. And we're up against Killer, who is another Doom Knight, another version 1. That's annoying. Oh well. Let's start spending some mana and seeing what this class can do. So the first thing you would usually want to do, among others, is to start with buffing you with Enkindle, I assume. Then put up the Curse with Malcifer. So by doing this, what we've done is actually reduce this Doom Knight's resistance to fire damage. Of course, he had quite a bit of them, so now he's down to 12 as opposed to, I think that's 37 or so. So, you know, not that great, but it's not that bad either. So we can start with our big move, which is the Phoenix, which deals quite a bit of hits, which can be helpful for with a number of weapons, but not quite this one. Damage is fairly low too. That kind of goes with being a defensive class, really. It's got a decent shield though, so that's at least something we can count on. Still wasn't enough, it seems. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Could probably have been smarter to stun him anyway. So, we've got this, which can actually stun him for a turn, but doesn't seem to have actually worked. Oh, but it did. How about that? Despite having it explained to me, I can never see whether it does or don't. Oh yeah, that's the one. That's Rebirth. Come back from the ashes. That's the one we wanted. We've got a couple of other moves that we can use, but most of them are actually focused on dots. That is why you usually want your curse up as quickly as possible. And that was a really great opportunity for me to defend, but it seems that his actual moveset got delayed a bit, which is actually pretty good for me. I'm not that used to those classes. I sorta know what to do with the ones I'm going to be presenting today, but still, you know, not quite there. It's kind of a nice touch, though, that he gave the class that kind of Pyronomicon group. And we're up against Ryu Senpu, our old Avatar of Time nemesis, who now is using the Necro Paragon armor, with a stand-a-scan orb to boot. That could be interesting. This also means that I'm gonna have to be fairly careful. We're gonna swap our weapon to ice to begin with. Start with fire chains, I suppose. The strange thing is that this class doesn't actually deal fire damage out of the box. It's actually based on your weapon. But you'll usually want to use fire weapon if only because of said curse that we saw earlier. So, that is done. We'll start in Kindle. Okay, that should be it. Protection from ice, perfect. Now just swap the weapon around and start going to town. You can do whatever you want, hon. It's not gonna make any difference. Okay, let's try to avoid any further miscalculations. What did he do just now? Life tap. Should have expected. Oh well. Resisted the mobility effect, apparently. It's not that bad, but it could prevent us from lasting all that long. So, more burn. Let's go ahead and stun him. Doesn't seem to have done much though, from the looks of it. Okay. Fire. That dot is really annoying. So the paper cannon, one of the other skills. I blame Tomix again, but don't tell him. Rather annoying. Ah oui. That may be the end of us. Could showcase the charge skill while we're at it. A really strange choice there as well. His armor is pretty darn high. I have a lot of trouble actually hitting him. How high is it? It's fairly standard. He has a lot of resist all though. As well as... Does he actually have fire? Doesn't look like it. Now what I would need is a stun. He's gonna deal a ton of damage soon if he manages to do another life tap. Is that the shroud? I think that's the shroud. No, it is not. But we must be getting pretty darn close. Paper cut cannon. Yep, that gotta be a life tap. Has to be. Yep. Oh well, streak is dead. Off to the next one. Okay, next up we're going to be going as a ranger. So let's do this. We're starting against Aether, a Doom Knight. Version 1? Yep, that's right. Okay. So how am I going to deal with this guy? Less damage. Crippling the attack. Reduce accuracy. Okay. Let's hope that'll be enough. Doesn't sound likely. Nope. Shame that. At least damage got somewhat blunted, so that's a start. Go with Reflex. And we should be good. Could have been worse. And off you go. Next. Okay, against Arya Senna, the Riftwalker. These are always tricky. At least this class appears to have good shield, so that is good. Is it a 3-turn or a 2-turn shield? Well, I've got a while, it should be fine. So, Viper. Even with accuracy, she didn't manage to land that blow. That's surprising. And it seems that we've managed to stun her as well. Good. Awesome. I actually didn't remember about that armor slash thing which deals -20 to all. That's actually pretty darn good. Should have used that a whole lot longer before. Next one, we're up against CJ, who's an evolved Dragon Lord. Let's have a look. Okay, darkness, lots of stuff, but overall not that impressive. That heals me though. Could probably pop a Reflex. I don't see any reason not to. Considering he's probably going to try to stun me pretty soon. Yep, next turn should be the one. It's rather unfortunate for them. Ranger seems well suited to actually destroy you without you ever touching him. Howie. Straw flashbang. Worked perfectly. Whee! Alright, just gotta pop that last one and we should be mostly fine. Ah, Kitty came up just short. Sorry, Kitty. It's all my fault. I didn't motivate you enough. There we go. Next one. Rockin's Dax, who is probably a non-dragon amulet holder. Okay, so nothing too special to do against him, really. Just standard stuff. Sweet. All right. Last one. Up against Zexis, who is a Dragon Lord, a Dragon Rogue, with a half-decent weapon. Fairly easy. Just stack the Venom so you get high enough to actually get two hits per turn. And then once that's done, pop the critical and just do whatever. Huh. I forget to do that. Sounds like it. Awesome. Just gotta finish him. And done. Back to a streak of 1. Okay, so to finish up, we're gonna be going as an Icebound Revenant, another Dragon Coin class. Let's do this. So, starting off against Velgaron Shredrak, who is a regular Doom Knight, which means that it's gonna be a tiny bit more difficult. Okay, let's start off with Fortitude of Frost, I suppose, which is my shield. Much better. Okay, now after that. So the big mechanic with the Icebound Revenant is actually this, the Revenant's Curse, which actually weakens the foe's resistance to ice. This means that using an ice weapon with this class is actually really helpful. Not to mention that I believe a lot of the attacks actually use ice damage, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see, minus 30 to ice, that's not too bad. And combined with either the Frozen Claymore or the Frost Side, that can actually deal some interesting amount of damage. Although really, for the most part, the Icebound Revenant kinda has some of the skills of the Doom Knight, although being a lot less defensive. It's mostly focused on dealing, how can I say, a lot of dots and strong ice damage with moves such as Razor here. Or the next one that we're going to be using, which is Reeve. Deals quite a bit of damage, although it runs out of steam rather quickly, so you'll mostly be relying on your dots for the most part. That is why I don't feel it actually needs to get a lower level weapon. So, let's see. Talking about so much stuff at once that I'm actually kind of lose track of what I'm doing. That was a really big crit though. Okay, we're up against Luke, the Doom Knight. And this guy is tough. Which kind of... Okay, he's a version 1, that's right. Although one of the weaknesses of the class is that it's not all that great against multiple enemies. I mean, its multiple move here, Howling Talons of Ice, is actually fairly powerful. However, it's got its weakness as well. Namely, the fact that the curse can actually only affect one enemy and it has got a pretty high cooldown. But you'll see still that the resistance to ice that is being reduced lasts for 98 turns as well. So, you know, not that big a deal. Okay, let's do that stun. Doesn't look like it'd work. Nope. That's no good. Really bad. These things are really starting to piss me off. Long Winter to put up another dot. Then proceed to get destroyed because I forgot. Oh well. That should have been expected. Not the first time I fall to this guy, I'm afraid. Oh well. I'm afraid that's going to be it for the time being. Thank you for watching, everyone. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe. Please leave a comment below. And that was the Great Pumpkin. You all have a pleasant time now. Bye-bye.